Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I went back to brown hair and I gotta tell you, I'm loving it and I feel like myself again. But that's not the point of the video. We are doing an all-day wear test with the new SHEGLAM Skin Magnet High Coverage Foundation Stick. Today has already been a very busy day and it's going to continue to be a busy day. Kevin and I have already filmed a little bit of content for the Patreon for the podcast, and now we are going to film a full episode, more bonus footage. We have to run errands and it's about 950 degrees in New Jersey today, so I thought this would be a great day to showcase the wear of this foundation. So I've had the pleasure of trying this out for a couple weeks. And whenever I partner with a brand, I always want to use the product for as much time as I can, because I'm not really a big fan of first impressions when it comes to foundation, because you can be having an amazing skin day, it looks phenomenal, depending on the weather, the heat, etc. But then you try it a second time and you hate it. So I've been trying this for almost 3 weeks, and I very quickly just continued to use it again and again and again for the reasons that I'm going to outline. So not only are we doing an all-day wear test, but I'm going to be using this bad boy as foundation, concealer, and bronzer. So you're really going to see it be put to the test. So big thank you to SHEGLAM for sponsoring today's video, because I'm psyched about this and I can't wait to tell you all about it. So right off the bat, this is cruelty-free, and the real cruelty-free, like Leaping Bunny cruelty-free. The shade range is bananas. We have 36 shades. This retails for $10.99, and I want to read you the highlights from this. We have high coverage, powders of different particle sizes interact with each other. One application can cover almost any spot or blemish. Then we have magnet-like strength, so mag fixing, trademark, techniques can use a special film forming agent. The foundation uses special processing technology to make the texture more delicate and less likely to dull. And lastly, this was my favorite part, a blurring effect. You know, with these pores, combination skin, and when you are oily in general, but even oily in the T-zone, that's when you tend to have larger pores and a little bit of texture. So it is crafted with a precision mix of micronized powders for a superior blurring effect. It's advanced formulation seamlessly fills fine lines and pores, ensuring a smooth, flawless complexion. I was sold when I read that for the first time. And lastly, a really cool thing about this is that it is formulated without preservatives. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, is this gonna go moldy in 5 seconds? No. It was funny, Manny reviewed this as well, and a lot of people were saying that in the comments, and then SHEGLAM ended up explaining that it follows every regulation that it needs to follow, basically meaning that it's not formulated with traditional preservatives, but what it is formulated with is going to be just as effective, that it's not going to grow molds on you. It, of course, like all products, has your 12-month expiration date after you open it. You want to be conscious of your expiration dates, people. But that preservative alternative, along with no mineral oils, alcohol, hormones, and fluorescent agents, I believe, none of that is in this. All of that is really working to just make it a more mild, less irritating formula. All right, class is no longer in session. It's time to get this on the face. I am using the shade Nude for our foundation. Sorry, I'm getting too excited. The skin is already prepped with moisturizer and SPF, but I'm going to go in with a little bit of primer. This is something I haven't really told you guys about because it kind of crept up on me. This is the Love Dive at First Sight Moisturizing Primer from SHEGLAM. I didn't really gravitate towards this when I got it, because anything that's this hydrating primer, having combination skin, I always think is just gonna make me look like an oil slick at the end of the day. But you can see it has a really gel-like texture, and I gotta tell you, I used it once because I was like, okay, I was aroused by the gel consistency, because that normally means it's going to wear less shiny and like it's not as thick of a product. But when you put this on, not only obviously are you getting the hydration, which I really love, but without that silicone feeling, once this is melted into the skin, it has a almost Smashbox photo focusy blurring smoothing effect, which again, for my large pores, sold. And you guys know I don't really love primers as it is, because I don't like to put something super thick and masky between my skin and the foundation, because I want the foundation to marry to the skin. And this feels like a moisturizer on steroids, that you're just getting that hydration, but plus that little baby slip. love. So normally when it comes to stick foundations, I'm very picky. I love them, but I think a lot of them are made too balmy where it just melts off the face, or they're too stiff and they don't really melt and emulsify with the heat of the body and they drag, where this has the most beautiful emollients to it, where it immediately, you can feel the creaminess of it just melting off of the stick onto the skin, onto the face, wherever you choose to put it. And I look for that really spreadable, beautiful formula. And we also have this brush that was made with the foundation stick. And I gotta tell you, this is another little bad boy I love. It definitely feels like a synthetic hair brush like most foundation brushes, so it doesn't suck up the foundation, but it is so dense right here that I've never used a brush that when I dip it into the foundation, it looks clean when you're done, so you're not wasting any product. So we are gonna apply the foundation from the back of my hand. I don't really like to swipe a stick onto the face because then I think you're stuck using that much product. I would much rather just put my products on the back of my hand, control how much I'm putting on. So I have a little bit here. We're gonna dip in with the brush. You can see what I mean. You see a little bit of coverage there of what it picked up. But when we go and put this on, everything comes off the brush and goes onto the skin, so you're not wasting anything. Why are my ears so cherry red whenever I put foundation on? I remember one time someone on TikTok tried to come for me when I was putting foundation on my ears because they're like, why are you putting foundation on your ears? That's gross. How do you clean them? And I know they think they like ate calling me out on that, but then it kind of just made me and everybody else go, okay, well, like, how do you normally clean your ears? Because that's more concerning. So this is half the face done coverage. Do we see? Another thing that made me really excited when I started using this as concealer, because that's how good the formula is, even under the eyes, but especially bronzer, is that the shade Truffle for me is almost exactly the same shade as my all-time favorite bronzing stick, the Trixie Cosmetics one. But the difference of this being a foundation stick is that in areas I'm going to bronze, I don't need to wear as much foundation because this has coverage. Unlike a bronzing stick is going to be much sheer because it's just depositing that color thinly, where this is a foundation stick. So I can wear much less product in the areas that I am going to be bronzing in. So overall, it just makes me use less product. So let's do the other half of the face and move on to bronzer and concealer. Do you guys like the Cowboy Carter shirt? I fell victim to Spotify's suggested merch. All right, now we're gonna go in with the shade Truffle. Same thing, right on the back of my hand here, just like that. And then with a dense brush, this is one of the Morphe brushes, Ariel, I'm just dipping in, really making sure it is deposited as I always would, really blended and dispersed. And then along the hairline, underneath the cheekbones, a little bit on the sides of the nose. And I like to just bring this up just to continue that contour with the nose, and then a little bit on the lids just to almost give that kind of eyeshadowy effect lift, especially when you're doing super natural makeup. Now concealer, we're going in with shade Chantilly, and I like to twist this up and then on one of my favorite brushes, the dual-ended foundation and concealer brush here from IT Cosmetics, I dip right into the Chantilly shade and then brighten and conceal any areas that I want to look more awake. And that's why I was gravitating towards this when I started using it, because I had gotten this idea where I was like, can I use this as concealer and foundation, like an all-in-one? And a lot of the times I get ready for the podcast in about 5 minutes to film. And I want to look natural, but I also want to look flawless, but I don't want it to look heavy and cakey or crazy. So this lets me get ready in 5 minutes if I'm not talking. And the formula looks so beautiful no matter where I put it, that I know not only is it going to look great when I first put it on, but the wear is going to be incredible. And I will tell you as well, even when I try out other foundations and I want to use concealer now. I've been using this more because I said it a long time ago in a video that I started highlighting and brightening with foundations because I think they wore better on me having combo and oily skin and on fine lines, because I think a lot of concealer formulas tend to be very thick and heavy and really just settle in those lines more than a foundation does. So I've also been using this as a concealer more than my other concealers. And there we go, guys. Foundation, concealer, and bronzer done. Now all we gotta do is a little bit of blush. So I'm gonna go in with the SHEGLAM. This is the Color Bloom Liquid Blush in Rose Ritual. These are those really cool ones that have the little stampy, about 4 dots, and then using the same brush, not the exact same one, but a duplicate of it. Same thing, I'm just gonna dip into this blush and diffuse her onto the brush. We are gonna tap in a little bit here, and then I've been liking for summer to bring it over the nose to kind of give me that nice natural sun-kissed flush. All right, home stretch already, a little setting powder. If it's a good cream formula, obviously creams like this are gonna be stunning on dry skin, but if it's a good cream formula that is formulated this way, that has that powder already in the formula, that has a beautiful dry down, that is gonna wear really well, I love this for oily and combination skin, especially if you have fine lines and stuff, you're worried about pores or texture, because I think it just wears a lot nicer sometimes than liquids can. I mean, just setting this, it just, that like immediately, skin. And finishing touches, just a little bit of feathery brow fill. That's all we're doing. A little bit of tinted brow gel and the beard, especially in the summer. My beard, because I'm Italian, but I'm not like, I'm more Northern Italian than Southern Italian. So my beard in the summer turns blonde and red. So I would like my beard to be one color. So we're doing a little bit of the tinted brow gel in the beard. A little whisper of mascara. That's all she needs. Setting spray. There we go, friends. We are done. If I'm not talking, I can genuinely do this makeup in 5 minutes because 99% of the products are one thing. We are looking flawless, smooth, blurred, super quick and easy, which is especially how I need it on super busy days. So now that we're done and looking great, let's go film a lot of content, run some errands in the 100-degree weather. It is currently 9:31 in the a.m. and I'll do some check-ins for you to let you know how it's going throughout the day. And then we will wrap things up with a check-in at the end of the night. Like I said, I'm hoping I get at least 8 hours of wear out of this, so you can see how it looks at the end of the day, going through all of that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and put the SHEGLAM Skin Magnet High Coverage Foundation Stick to an all-day wear test. First check-in. We're filming the pod. This is directly after application. God, my profile. Gorge. It's looking good, but it's been 2 minutes. So we're gonna record all day, and I'll check back in and let you know what it looks like. Alrighty, we just finished filming for the day. It is around 5:30, so I've already had this on for 8 hours, and this is what everything is looking like. Nothing's breaking apart or settling. Decently matte. I'm not overly shiny the way it would be with some foundations, but nothing's breaking apart, which is my, favorite part. We're ready at 8 hours. We're done for the day. I've been under hot lights, but I'm gonna wear it a little longer. Gonna eat dinner, and then we'll come back for the final check-in. It is currently 8:23, so we have had this on for just shy of 11 hours. My contacts are so dry, they are ready to jump out the window. So I am very excited to pop these out, wash my face, but I wanna give you my final thoughts on the SHEGLAM Skin Magnet High Coverage Stick Foundation. With this makeup on, Kevin and I filmed about 4 hours of podcast content under those lights. We ran some errands. I ate lunch, I ate dinner, so we have put it through the test. This is what she is looking like on the iPhone 4K. after 11 hours. We are definitely shiny, but this is nothing for me compared to 95% of foundations. And we haven't touched this up, which is the huge thing. And that's the other aspect of it, is the lack of creasing. You can see the most minor settling, and I've been touching my face, etc. I do want to touch this up for you guys since we haven't touched up all day. I will say normally when I wear this, especially when I'm filming, I do touch up throughout the day because why not? When you touch this back up, it looks like you just put it on. And especially if you do have any little minor baby creasing, because of that balminess and that emollients, it just melts right back into the skin. I will just pat out any of that minimal creasing and then take my powder and retouch up, and we are as good as new. You see what I mean about just slightly patting any little baby creasing out and just touching up with powder, it looks like you freshly applied it. I can't express how picky I am when it comes to complexion products. That's my favorite thing, especially foundation. Having pores, fine lines, and being combination where I get shiny in the T-zone. It's really hard to find something that works its way into my top 5. I can't stop using it. I have worn this on so many podcast episodes without telling you guys for the past couple weeks. The fact that my under eyes have increased. This is like better than most concealer formulas I've used. I just think SHEGLAM does foundations so incredibly. This powder has been my favorite powder foundation since it came out, probably a year and a half at this point. And for $10.99, I just can't recommend it enough, whether you want to use this for foundation, concealer, or bronzer, or everything. So once again, thank you so much to SHEGLAM for sponsoring today's video. If you guys want to check out the Skin Magnet High Coverage Foundation Stick, the link is in the description box down below. I hope you guys have a fabulous day, week, weekend, whenever you are watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.